Alright, this is a combined video review, and this one's going to be a little tricky just because I don't have, while they're remodeling the other studio, I don't have quite the depth of review space that I used to have, so I'll do my best. You can see the whole Thundertank here in the frame. We're also going to be reviewing the Thunderracers on either side of it that come with Tigra and Lion-O, since I figured I'd do them together, one, just because they all kind of go together anyway. We'll start off with the tank itself. Which does come with this little Snarf figurine. You can see he's a little big compared to a 4-inch figure. Scales a little better with the 6 inches. I didn't bring any of those in, so you're just going to take my word for it. But he's not bad. He does look good with his 4 inches. He's just short. The tank itself, you'll need some AAA batteries for it. They go in right here. It doesn't come with any. There's a panel right here. There is an on-off switch under here, so you can leave the batteries in and not make noises with it. And when you turn it on, you hear that sword slash thing. And when it comes, you do have to put it together because the side piece, the claw, and the Thunderracer itself are all separate pieces. The little non-functional, non-character holding Thunderracer snaps in just like that. Snap the claw on, and the whole thing kind of snaps onto the side here. It doesn't hold very strongly, but unless you're like flinging your Thundertank around, it does hold together fairly well. Pushing the button here, you'll hear makes the firing noise, and if you lift this up, there's on each side there's a button that will launch a Thunderracer, and you'll hear a noise of a motorcycle taking off and then stopping abruptly. And that'll work also with these Thunderracers. And why don't we take a moment before we get... Well, let's get into this. Snarf activates some things inside here. If you plug them in... All the figures will if you plug them in right here in this button.
Activate.
No, that's what it says.
Thundertank activate.
And if you leave them plugged in, there's now vocal things for all the things. Thundertank fire. There is a Thundertank launch, and then you hear the motorcycle sound. And you can leave these down. You're supposed to raise these up a little bit to fire the thing, but they will automatically get booted up as you launch, which I think looks more effective that way anyway. I don't think there's no noise for that. You can take Snarf out, and there's a magnet here on the back. Then when you push it, it opens up a trunk. As you can see, I've got all the weapons in there now. I did paint Panthros and nunchucks. You can store them when they're going. You can store them in there. You can store Snarf in there. You might even be able to shove Chitara in there if you want everybody to be on a vehicle, because you can have the 3 guys and the racers, and then the kits on their board, the Wileys on their board. But whatever you want to do. But there is that storage space right there. It really is a convenient place to store all the little individual accessories for the figures that you're probably going to be using with the tank. So that's nice. Panthro does fit in the cockpit, and again, they all have this magnet. Now, this is not actually, it doesn't look like it's magnet activated. There's a button right here that gets pushed in. You see, my finger is not magnetic, so there's just a button there, which is a little annoying. And you can push him down and clip him all the way in, and his little piece will push that button in and activate the sounds. It is possible, and I've done this. Let me see if I can do it again, to get Panther all the way in the seat. And be able to close the lid. See, there it's still pushing up a little bit. It is possible to get him low enough. Oh, hold on. No Thundertank, don't activate. Lean him forward a little bit. No. It's a very... Yeah, see, it is possible to get him in there and keep it from having to say Thundertank every time it does something. You can... Yeah, see? It doesn't take much pressure. You see, I just bumped him, and that was enough to push him back to activate that button. But you can actually get him to... And I had him pretty solidly on there earlier. It is possible to have him sitting there. Yeah, see, without activating that Thundertank noise, which sounds like, as I mentioned earlier on my Twitter, it sounds like they got Arlie Ermey's retarded cousin to record these lines. It doesn't sound like any of the Thundercats, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But there's the tank itself. And that's about all the functions of the tank. Now you can, if you launch these guys, the Thunderracers that come with Tigra and Lion-O. And they're basically the exact same bike. You can attach them on either side. They each have a different weapon. Tigra comes with this little laser gun, and when you plug him in, and you see they're not as posable as the other ones. They've got knee joints, waist joints, shoulder joints, and then like little wrist swivels and their head swivels, and that's it. And you kind of have to use these if you want to activate the functions of the bike, because while Lion-O and Tigra, the regular versions, will fit in there, Tigra has a little shoulder armor piece on one side, and so does Lion-O, and those stick up just enough that you can't close this lid if you have them sitting all the way up. And if you put them low enough so you can get them all the way in there and close this lid if you just slide them down a little bit further, the regular versions. But the magnet won't be in the right position to activate the weapons. The magnet does unlock this button on the back. As you can see, like that one pushes in until I put Lion-O in here. This one won't. But it does activate the weapon, and here he's got a laser cannon, and when you push the button, it lights up. And same with Lion-O. Let's get him in his little racer here. I'll go in, there we go. Plug him in. He's got a little drill weapon that when you push the button, it launches the drill. And again, those won't activate. Basically what you're doing is there's a little button on the back of each of these weapons here. And when you activate that button, you're basically pushing that little piece behind it forward. It unlocks that lever, and you can fire the missile or light up the laser. And like I said, I plan on just keeping the regular 4 inches in here. I'm not a real big fan of their racing gear. Here, they're simpler figures. They're not as posable. I'd much rather miss out on one, shooting the missile off. You know, this way I don't risk if I put regular Lion-O in here and he sits low enough. Let me show you. So he sits low enough that he's not activating the magnet. See, now it closes all the way. He's still got the drill weapon, and I don't have to worry about accidentally launching the missile. So, and they can sit right here. And now this is how they. This is with the claws in the normal position. You can't really fold them down. And other people have done this, and it works. If you're going to have the big Thunderracers on, you can actually pull these off and swap them. So that the claws still come down. They can still be there. You can actually launch these without any interference, and then keep the Thunderracers on. And as I mentioned on Twitter, if you're reading that, this is cool. I like the fact that like with this and putting little Wileys on their boards, and having Chitara ride somewhere, maybe in the trunk if you want, you can actually have all of them in a vehicle moving around, which is cool. But really, looking at this is cool. I like it. I like being able to have the different Thundercats figures in the actual tank as opposed to just having one driver and that being it. But it really, really makes me want to see a reboot of Silverhawks with a full-on updated Mirage with the Silverhawks all inside of it and Bluegrass driving it and the ability to launch the Silverhawks out of the 4 pods on the wings of the Mirage. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, there is that. It's making me yearn for something that may or may not ever happen again. Now, hopefully the success of Thundercats relaunch will make them think that, hey, maybe we should do Silverhawks too, because I'd love to see it. It just, the Mirage was even used to be, like the original Thundertank, wasn't it white? It was white and gray with a little bit of blue on it. The blue and silver of this really makes me think of the Mirage from Silverhawks, and I really want it. I may have to spend a bunch of money on eBay buying Silverhawks stuff now. But yeah, I'm really digging the new cartoon. We've now seen the Thundertank in a couple episodes, although the last episode it was just out of gas. So hopefully we'll see it doing some cool stuff with the Thunderracers and everything. But the toy itself is actually pretty cool. Not perfect. I wish there were some more solid connections for these side pieces. I don't know why they felt the need to make those separate pieces in the first place. But when you've already got the separate of this, but whatever. But I like everything else about it. It's a very nice design. It's really cool looking. Definitely worth picking up. And it does come with the Snarf, which right now is the only place to get little Snarf. Now he doesn't have a whole lot of posability. His arms move up and down a little bit, but they're kind of limited by his body, and his legs do rotate. But that's about it. There's no real articulation on him. He's just a little figurine. But still, Snarf. So there it is, Snarf with the Thundertank and the Lion-O and Tigra Thunderracers.